Ooh, Trump's a communist. Trump is a communist. Tariff Trump. Old deficit Donald. You heard it here. Well, you saw it in the news. Deficit Donnie. The tariff Trump. The Trump tariff. Walmart said, hey, your prices are going to go up. Get ready. It's almost summer. And all those imports, exports, takes a little while. So we're at that moment in time where, the tariffs that Trump imposed are about to hit. And Walmart CEO came out and said, well, I'm not taking a pay cut. The Walmart CEO will never take a pay cut. The shareholders will never take a pay cut. And like I told you before, businesses, corporations are not your friends. And they said, so get ready, consumers. Get ready. The customer's always gonna eat it. They said, so the prices are gonna go up. You can thank old Trump tariff. Old tariff Trump. Deficit Donnie. You can thank him for it. So the Walmart CEO says, consumers are gonna have to eat these prices. And communist Supreme Leader Trump said, oh no, Walmart, you better not say that. He said, you better eat those prices. And for all those who've been using communism as a fear-mongering tactic, just so you know what communism is well, in theory, it's a stateless, classless, moneyless society. It's where everybody has their needs met. But the way that the fearmongers use it, they use it as like the government controls everything. There's no private property. The government owns everything, right? That's how fearmongers have been using. Hey, what's up, Gmo? That's how fearmongers have been using communism. They don't use it in the description like in heaven, where it's a stateless, classless, moneyless society where people don't have to worry about their needs being met. They don't use communism in that way. They like to throw around communism as in the state controls everything. There's no free market. Well, guess what? Old deficit Donnie and the Trump tariffs have officially merged into being communists because he told Walmart, you're going to eat the prices. You better eat the prices. You made billions of dollars, which this is the only time I'm like, oh, Comrade Trump is telling businesses to eat the tariff prices and not to pass it on to the consumer. This is the one time where I'm like, good. He should be saying that. He should. Communist Comrade Trump should be telling the CEOs, you made enough money. Time to eat those prices. Link down below. So you can read where Donald Trump made a big stink about Walmart saying the Trump tariffs are going to affect consumers. Because again, corporations ain't your friends, folks. They ain't your friend. They ain't here to eat the price, eat the cost of the tariffs. They're not going to do that. And the CEO of Walmart said so. He was like, we passed that along to the consumers. Our stock buybacks aren't going to change. Our CEO pay isn't going to change. Our shareholders are not going to make less money, but the consumers are going to pay more. So suck it, consumers. And Comrade Trump turned around and said, oh, no, you don't, Walmart. You've made billions, maybe trillions. And you don't even have to pay your taxes. You get all the tax breaks you want. He didn't say that. But he said, you've made so much money. Comrade Trump said, you've made so much money, Walmart, eat those prices. So for those who use communism as fear-mongering, just so you know, that is the state setting the prices. That is the government telling the free market what to do. Communism. Trump is a communist, and I'm all for it. Listen, shit, if we could go to a moneyless, classless, stateless society where everybody's needs are met, I'm all for it. I don't think that's where he's heading. I think it reflects on him. It's his ego that's hurt because he doesn't want to be known as old Trump tariff. Tariff Trump. He doesn't want to be known as that. So, yeah, Dark Defend 420. Good game. Good name. He has a Gestapo. I mean, in all seriousness, I'm kind of being sarcastic here where I don't think he's a comrade. But it is funny that the people who scream communism are not screaming it right now. They're not saying, well, if the government is telling the free market how to run its business and how to price its stock, how to price, not its stock, but its inventory, if the government is telling Walmart that they need to eat prices, they've made enough money, and that they're price fixing, then I always thought that was communism. That's what they scream about. Apparently it's not when Comrade Trump does it, but I'm here to let you know that that's what it is. Have a wonderful day. You too. But yes, we are in much, much darker and dire times than caring about what Walmart's price raising. The other funny thing about this is people always said, well, if we pay people more, prices are going to go up. How is it that we're not paying people anymore? Okay, from January till now, there was no major minimum wage increase. From January till now, nobody got major raises at Walmart. But guess what? The CEO said, guess what, suckers? It's going to cost more for you. Again, CEO isn't taking a pay cut. The heirs of Walmart, the Waltons, they're not taking a pay cut. They're not selling a yacht or a second home. The stockholders are not going to lose their dividends. No, the consumers are going to pay for it. And prices are going to go up. And there's been no wage hikes. The price of labor has not increased since Trump has taken over. Since old Deficit Donnie has taken over. No, it is not socialism. It is not socialism. Socialism is when the workers control things. The socialism is the social aspect of it. This is not socialism at all. I highly encourage you to look up what socialism is. Socialism is a labor-controlled thing. This is the state telling CEOs how to run the free market. It is not socialism, not at all. Please, Dark Defend, I encourage people to inquire more about the terms they're using. And that's coming from a socialist. So it's not socialism, okay? It's not wealth. Somebody came in here and was like, oh, socialism, wealth redistribution. It's not. I hate to break it to you guys. But it's okay. What we're really talking about is how funny it is that Trump is acting like a communist and nobody's screaming about it. Fox News is not saying communist. Just imagine for a second if Obama told Walmart how to eat the tariff costs. And Obama was like, you've made enough money. You have to eat these costs and you have to keep your prices the same. And you're just going to not make as much money. If Obama did that, it would be 24/7 an hour panic of communist fears. It would be a Red Scare all over again. But it's funny that when Trump tells Walmart, the free market, when Deficit Donnie, old Tariff Trump, tells Walmart, when the government tells the free market that they need to eat the cost and set their prices the same, that's not communism. When the state's controlling the market, it's not communism. That's literally what's happening. What are your thoughts on how we can stop their rampant BS? Dark Defend, I like you. Oh, I like where you're coming from. I like these questions. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. My name is Rob. I go live every weekday. I do live news commentary. I think we need revolution. And that starts by organizing coalitions. I also put in a link down below. If you're new here, I link all the stories I plan to talk about. I wanted to talk about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because there was a fascinating, funny article on Cracked about an episode that is very memorable. We'll see if we can get to it. But the other thing is Burkina Faso. I don't know if Bob is in here. Bob is out in Nigeria, which I believe is a neighbor, maybe a state or two over, or a country or two over from Burkina Faso. But Ibrahim Traore, sorry about the pronunciation, the president of Burkina Faso just announced today, and I'm trying to cite second sources, so I put one link in there, but it's very hard to get news on Burkina Faso here in America. I wonder why that is. But Ibrahim Traore, he is the president, and he just announced that free electricity, free water for old folks, and he's trying to nationalize the water and electricity for all, because he believes that it is a human right to have electricity and water. Imagine that, folks. It's too bad we live in America, a shithole country where we can't have free electricity and free water. I've always said we need to nationalize the internet, because if you can't get a job, if you can't do anything in this country without the internet, why is it left to corporations to price gouge internet prices? I remember when you could get a phone plan and unlimited internet really was that. Now they charge you per gig. So capitalists at any corner, they will try to capitalize on you. They don't care that it's a necessity. They don't care that Wi-Fi in the modern world should be a human right. Electricity, heat, water, human rights. But out in Africa, big salute to you guys in Burkina Faso. The new president, Ibrahim Traore, down below is the link. But I'm trying to find more on it. Again, this news was just happening this morning, so I'm trying to find more because I'm very fascinated. But he is nationalizing which just means, or I don't know if he's fully nationalized, but he's announced that he wants to make water and electricity free for old folks, which I think that is noble. I wish we would do shit like that in America. I wish old folks didn't have to worry about heat, electricity. I wish young folks didn't have to worry about internet or getting on the Wi-Fi. We already all work together. It should be naturally free for us. We should be charging other people to use it. Dark Defend, I believe. We need national socialism, 100%. We need to nationally socialize water, the electric. I would like to see public transportation. I think those are things that, especially like the internet, water, and heat. I think those are things that, that's our water, right? It's like this Nestle, they're a European country, comes in and buys the water rights everywhere, and then they sell us plastic bottles with that water in it. They're not selling us water, folks. They're selling us plastic bottles. The water is ours. We live in America. This water should be ours. But somehow we've let these foreign corporations come in here and sell us plastic bottles filled with our water. It is an outrage. So I say we need, number one, so Dark Defend 420, you asked me what do we do about it? Organize. We need a coalition, and that's what I do every day on YouTube. I do a live stream where I talk about news, we make some jokes, we talk about personal stuff. We'll dive into anything, and usually we try to have fun with it, make some satirical commentary. But we also need to band together wherever you are. Like I was saying, Bob out in Africa, he's in Nigeria. I want to hear what his thoughts are on Ibrahim Traore. Hopefully he stops by. But we need, all I hear is lazy, give me free shit. Meep, you can leave. Because that is the attitude that is so more entitled than anything. Because what that says to me is, oh, here's, I want free shit. It's not free shit. What do you think our taxes are paying for? Well, right now it's just wars. Our taxes fund everything. The water that we live on, like I live in Massachusetts, there are lakes everywhere. There's water everywhere. Look up Poland Springs in Maine and how Nestle bought it out and stole the water from underneath the people that have lived there for generations. That is not free stuff. That is our water bought by wealthier people and sold back to us. So that is such a gross mindset that you could take somewhere else. I don't want you to subscribe, Meep, unless you want to open your mind and consider that there are people in this country, 1 in 5 kids every night goes hungry, food insecure. In America, 1 in 5. You know a kid that's probably too embarrassed, the parents too embarrassed to tell you that they are food insecure. And that is unnecessary in the richest land, in the land of the free. That is a selfish mindset that has kept us back. We have more than enough to provide for everyone. And you know how I know? Because there are people in this country like Elon Musk, like Jeff Bezos, like Donald Trump, who have money that they could never spend in their grandkids' lifetime, and they are trying to hoard more. So if you want to support that, go on. But we're not talking about free stuff. We're talking about necessities, human rights, things that are the earths that wealthy people have bought and sold back to us. So, Dark Defend. I've been working since I can remember being told to work. And that's the thing. We're all working, right? And the saddest part, this is what pisses me off. People be working 40 hours a week. Most people are working more than 40 hours a week, and they can barely get by. They're not taking vacations. They're just affording rent. They're worried about the price of eggs. And here we are talking about lazy, give me free shit. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. And the thing is like my buddy said, gradual change means death. And what that phrase means is that these incremental changes means people are dying, like the healthcare industry in America. They're denying people healthcare to make more money so their profits go up, so their stock prices go up. They're denying people healthcare. Meanwhile, I think it's 65,000 people in America die from like easily curable things, like things that society as humans over a lifetime, a millennia, have worked to gain the medical cures to. It is gatekept from us here in America. So what we need, and Max Cady, you know who cares? A lot of people care. A lot of people care. And if you don't, that's fine. Nobody's asking you to care. But you know what? You can't turn around and act like you care about your community and then say stuff like you guys are saying. So I appreciate you, Dorth and Dark Defend. But the thing is I'm not here to fucking give a shit if you care or not. Understand that. If you don't care, that's fine. Don't act like neighborly in your community. Don't hold the door open for people. Don't say nice things to people. Don't ask people how they are because you don't care. And that's fine, but I'm sick of that mindset. I'm sick of the I don't care, or it sounds like free shit, lazy people. And it's like, no, we're talking about people who are working 40 to 60 hours a week and are worried about the price of eggs, worried about the tariffs, Trump tariffs coming in. All right. These are hardworking Americans all over the place who have been sold propaganda, who have been sold bullshit, who have voted for leaders who have sold them out to richer people that will ever understand. People that have medical wings in their houses, people that can have a doctor on call. And what are we asking for? We're asking for human rights, water, heat, basic shit that humans over a millennia have gained the knowledge to. And then somehow here in America, we've let these wealthy people, because people like Max Cady and the other one who say, like, I don't care, sounds like lazy people. You don't go after the wealthiest people who are hoarding all the money. They're hoarding billions of dollars while your elderly neighbors are freezing or starving or eating cat food, okay? Or kids in America, 1 in 5 are going hungry. Rent is $12.27 monthly, but make $400-500. That isn't even electricity, water. That's what I'm talking about, Dr. Fenn. That's the bullshit that they raise. They keep raising the rent, but our pay isn't going up. And I'm sick of it. So my point is Donald Trump is a communist. He's not, but he's telling the free market. Remember, communism is when the state controls the market. They control it all. And that's what Donald Trump's doing. When he says CEO of Walmart, you're going to eat the prices. He's being a communist. And I wish he would be a true communist and, make it a stateless, moneyless, classless society. But he ain't gonna. And meanwhile, here in Africa, which I wonder if this will be covered on the news, because this is huge if it is true. I put one link below. In Africa, in Burkina Faso, the president Traore, he announced for old folks, they're going to have free electricity and free water. They're guaranteeing them for older people as a human right. That is amazing. Yo, Rob, what is the solution? What are we to lose this in the sauce? So the solution is organizing. If you look back through history, right, and that's what you have to do. You have to look back through history, and when enough people make noise, okay? It's just like Doge. When they were doing all those cuts, and I feel bad for the people in the middle of this country, because this is tornado season. I keep reading about tornadoes, and I keep reading about how the weather service has been decimated, so they're not getting the alerts before time, and that's life or death. This administration has American blood on their hands for cutting out tornado warnings and stuff like that. But so if you look back through history, it's organizing. It's coming together. It's finding like-minded people who said, I don't care. We might disagree. You might be red. I might be blue. I'm neither. I'm fucking none of them colors. I'm as far away from this political system as we can get. I do not subscribe to it. I don't buy to it. But throughout history, what you can look at is people organizing, saying, I'm going to overlook this. I'm going to overlook our beliefs because we need to come together for a greater cause. And that's what we need right now. That is the solution. What's up, Kuwait? Hello, good to see you. So we have to organize. How we do that, I don't know if I'm smart enough to figure it out. I don't know if I'm a good enough speaker to garner that kind of organization, but I do know that is the answer. Because if you look back through history, when people organized, and like I was saying with Doge, when people organized and Tesla's stocks dropped, what happened? All of a sudden he was like doing PR outlets like, "Ooh, poor me, woe is me. I'm just the poorest rich guy ever. I'm a victim. I'm the wealthiest man ever, and I'm a victim because my stock price went down. Why won't people buy my cars?" So that's organization. People collectively across the globe. It wasn't just here in America, in the UK too. They were like, we ain't buying your cars, your Nazi mobiles, we ain't buying that. And that is organization. That is people coming together and saying we can mitigate all the other circumstances because we have united under one cause, and that is F this dude. He is bad for everyone. And the amazing thing is these guys have enough money to just go about their business and go live a nice life, but they want to keep meddling in it. So what do we need to do? Organize, organize, organize. We need to show up for each other. So the people who say, I don't care, the people who say you're selfish, get out of here. That's fine. Go be alone. We don't care. We're looking to create a coalition of people across the globe, not just America, across the globe, who say we've had enough. We got enough water for everyone to drink. Why are kids going hungry? Why are kids dying? We got enough heat for everybody to have. Why is it got to be the profits of National Grid and not my neighbor who's elderly who needs to be warm in the winter? Why does she have to sacrifice when these people don't? And if enough of us come together and make noise, guess what? Things will change. But not until enough of us come together, stop buying into the propaganda, stop thinking we're going to vote our way out of this, and we align in a coalition. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would like to be a part of that coalition. I'm always in it for my people. I am able to rally people because they leave you with that leaves the consumer so far in debt. I've had enough of these. Yeah, I agree, Dark Defend. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so we can go live together and you can join me. And I love your commentary. Hold on, I just got to take care of this troll for a second. Oh, speaking of Diddy, then you need Doge. Doge is the biggest scam ever. I hate to think that people are still believing that it's like done any good. If they found fraud, that's the other thing that smarter people than I keep saying. If they found fraud, there would be court cases. We would see charges. They haven't found any. In fact, the fraud is Elon. But again, he promised you a Tesla Roadster in 2017. Where is that? I'm sure he's going to Mars, right? That's not just taking our tax money and running. Anyways, the other thing, Diddy, speaking of Diddy, link down below, Diddy is looking for a presidential pardon. If you want to see what kind of character people have, you'll know easily, because this is not a two-sided thing. I don't know anybody who has sided with Diddy. He's a scumbag, but he is looking. The news is that Diddy is looking for a presidential pardon from Trump, so we got to keep our eyes on that. I mean, Tupac was 100% right on Diddy. What a punk. All right, real quick, I'm going to try to go live again in a little bit. Thank you. Appreciate you, Dr. Fend. I'm going to try to go live in a little bit. I got to run to do a couple things, so I'm going to try to jump back on in a few and go live with the kittens. But I saw I look like a 6-year-old man. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know if you're talking about the trolls, but a lot of these older folks, you know, they don't understand that if we had the buying power of the boomers in the 70s, we'd be making $66 an hour minimum wage. That is the home buying power they had in the 70s, the equivalent, $66 today an hour. So things have changed and they don't understand it, just like we shouldn't have a 80-year-old running the country, you know, with the technology and all the compromise that these old folks put us into. We shouldn't allow it, but somehow it keeps happening. I don't know how people were like, Biden's old, let me vote for the guy his age. Idiots. But listen, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I want to share this story. I linked it down below, cracked.com. They said, and I love this because this is the kind of camaraderie people need to have. I guess Rob McElhenney, who created the show, he saw a giraffe being born. And he said, I want to recreate that. He went to Danny DeVito. He said, I want to show you this video of a giraffe being born. I want to recreate it in the show somehow. And it's the episode where Danny DeVito gets sewn into a couch, pops out naked. It's one of the funniest episodes on TV. It's hilarious. Danny DeVito's a gem. And he said, I want to show you this video. And Danny DeVito said, nope, I'll do it. And that is the kind of camaraderie, the I got you, the soul connection, the soulmate thing that we need. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I've had the power. It's set up a huge piece of land, very easy to build housing, make a reservoir. 100 Dark Defend. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I agree. You know, I've always said if I hit the lottery, I'll go about buying all that land back from Mark Zuckerberg that he bought in Hawaii, and I would give it to the locals. Because when I lived out in Hawaii, and some of my family's from Hawaii and they're Hawaiians, it was devastating to me to see the local Hawaiians living in shanties on the beaches. That's generations. That is their history, and they've been priced out from white dudes and rich people like Oprah and Mark Zuckerberg, and it's just disgusting. So I agree with you. Oh, and the other thing is I linked the Last Week Tonight episode with John Oliver because I highly encourage you to watch that. It's about Donald suing these media companies and what that means. And I wanted to talk more about it. Maybe I will tomorrow or a different time, because I worked in radio forever. And now the FCC is a very political weapon for Donald to have, which means it's going to get more dangerous, and it's going to subtly influence public's perception of things when they stop critiquing things. And it'd be hard to notice, but again, the lamestream media has never been a friend of the people. Corporate media is not a friend of the people, so just remember that. And watch John Oliver's. I linked it down below. All right, guys, I'm going to try to go live here in a little bit. So if you can, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll try to go live again. We'll chat some more. Dark Defend, I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by today. And hopefully you hit the notification bell. And if I can go live with the kittens, if you want to see some kittens, we'll do some news commentary and some kittens. I'm Rob. Thank you.